Tesla truck outside of Trump Towers. You saw, you know what I mean, the terrorist attack that happened in New Orleans. I mean, they getting their so-called New Year started off to an amazing start, I buy. More importantly, it's time for our people to realize that we are the children of Israel. That every Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman, it's time for us to wake up to the truth of what the Bible tells us, that we are the true Jews of antiquity, and that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. If I could, I Bahaya, can I please get Romans 13 and 11? Tell Mahayaman to be here shortly. Answer all your questions. We'll hold it down till he get here or to a higher ranking officer. Rhymes, but Abad, take it away.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11.
All right.
In that, knowing the time.
In that, knowing the time. We got to know what time it is, Black man and woman, Latino man and woman. A lot of us don't know and understand the time. Keep going.
That now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
And now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Now it's time to wake out of sleep. Now is the time to wake out of sleep. Because a lot of us is fast asleep. You know what they talking about now, Mahayaman? They talk about that crazy shit they talking about in there. Foundational Black Americans. That is the sweep and talk of all I have been seeing. They mad at Fat Joe. They mad at Busta Rhymes. You're trying to cut the Latinos and West Indians out to them out. We created hip hop by like a yeah. Well, that's a lie. Hip hop was created by the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and Ephraim.
Right.
In fact, we all had a hand in that. Israel, primarily Judah and Ephraim and Benjamin.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Levi's there too. You know, Israel was there, man. That's something that we all created. And here's another thing too, I buy too, what I never really understood about them. You so worried about the Ephraim influence on hip hop, right, or the West Indian influence, trying to say, no, it's all Judah. Who run hip hop now? The white man does. So what does it matter? Right. I was talking with a brother the other day at slavery, Mahayaman. Brother won't say the oppressor is the devil, but got all the venom in the world for Benjamin, you know what I mean, and Ephraim. Goes to show you. Black, Latino, First Nation man and woman, it's time to grow up and realize who our real enemy is. Who our real enemies are. You don't want to. You want to look at your brother. You want to look at your sister. You want to blame each other. We got to stop doing that, man. We got to understand. Now is the time to erupt, and that knowing the time, that it's high time to awake out of what?
Out of sleep.
Out of sleep. You think you woke. You think you are woke because you are FBA or whatever, or adults or whatever the hell y'all calling yourselves. You think you woke. You fast asleep. You're trying to cut out all the tribes, you know what I mean, of Israel, trying to cut your brothers out, but you're trying to have love for the oppressor. They say, I'm a foundation. They say, I'm a foundational Black American. Negro, here's the problem with that. First of all, America was founded by Amerigo Vespucci, the name America. We know that the tribe of Gad was here. We know the tribe of Ephraim was here. We know the tribe of Reuben was here. Issachar was here. Why do you want to call yourself American? And why do you want, and that you are a foundational Black American? Not realizing that your pride and your glory is right here in this Bible, and knowing who we are. And it's a glory that we share with our brothers and sisters from the tribes of Ephraim, Benjamin, Levi, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Issachar, Manasseh, because we are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Right. Black, Latino, First Nation man and woman, nosotros somos familia una raza. We are one people according to the Most High. And now it is time for us to awake out of sleep. What you really don't want to understand and know is that the oppressor is the one that founded the FBA, and is at the head of the FBA. Because a little research I did, I see a lot of sisters that don't know how to shut their damn mouth on Twitter, running their mouth about it. A couple soft brothers that all have venom for your brothers and sisters, but you got love for the oppressor, begging the oppressor for reparations. That's another thing too. You begging for reparations. Let me tell you what real reparations are. Real reparations are going to come from the hand of our God Yahweh through our King Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Right. And our God sends back our king and lays waste to the oppressor for not just what they have done to the tribe of Judah, what they have done to the tribe of Ephraim, to the tribe of Levi, the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Issachar. Let me explain something to you FBAs. We share pain. Right. We share pain and suffering at the helm of the same oppressor. Because when the Lord punished Judah, he ain't just punished Judah. He punished Ephraim too, didn't he, Ibad? Right. Punished Benjamin, punished Levi. We are brothers, man. And now is the time to awake out of sleep and stop acting crazy. That's what they want, Ibad. They want the tribes to be against each other. But guess what? We bringing the tribes back here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. So you can have your little corner in California. Really, it's your little corner on the internet because you don't really do anything but argue with each other. And I heard they're afraid of the little guy. What's the little comedian's name? Charleston White. They're afraid of him. That's hilarious in itself, Ibad. You afraid of a comedian? Right. Goes to show you are not fit to lead our people. Leave that for the Israelite School of UPK under command of General Yahweh. Leave that for the priests under command of General Yahweh. Leave that for us. We got it. But now is the time to awake out of sleep. Why? Read.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Our salvation is nearer than what we believe. Our salvation is right around the corner. You do know this, right? You do know that. You do know that our salvation is literally right there. Like, I don't know if y'all know this, man, but North Korea is testing them ballistic missiles again. They testing them missiles, Ibad. It's about to get real. About to get real. You see Russia and the Ukraine, they ain't letting up. But you worried about nonsense. You worried about shit that don't even matter.
Right.
Our people matter. And it's time to wake our people up. It's time for us to stop selling drugs. It's time for us to stop being whores and whoremongers. It's time for us to stop using drugs. And it's time for us to start loving that Black man and Latino man and First Nation man and woman again. And what comes with that is separation.
Right.
That's one thing that you FBAs, you really don't understand. You want to separate from your brothers and your sisters and join yourself to the oppressor. Well, our God told us, give me Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. Leviticus, the 20th chapter and the 26th verse. Can I please get that? This is what you got to understand. Separation is actually in the Bible, but you got to separate from your white daddy first. A lot of you, man, I hate to say it, it's lucky. A lot of them, my body, don't want to separate from their white daddy. You got to separate from your white daddy. You got to separate from him because he is the devil that the Bible speaks of. El hombre blanco es el diablo. You see what's going on. He's the biggest terrorist on the planet. The biggest terrorist. And you see it with these attacks on what's going on. Esau is getting ready. Listen, Esau already been tripping. Esau already was a murderous bastard. He getting ready to ramp it up a little bit more. You know what happens when he ramps it up a little bit more? That poor brother, man, that was unalived, you know what I mean, in the jail cell. It's a hard video to watch. You know what I'm talking about, Ibad? Okay. Are they gonna unalive that brother? That's a hard video, and every Black man and woman needs to look at that. That's the enemy that you want to keep yourself joined to. That's the enemy that you think is going to give us reparations, where the Lord is calling for his destruction, and it's going to happen. But first, we got to separate from him. Read what you got, Ibad.
Okay. This is the book of Leviticus, the 20th verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me.
The Lord said, ye shall be holy unto me. You know what the word holy means? Now, if you're of the Christian belief and faith, which is garbage, not Christian, Christianity. If you're of the Christianity, you believe to being holy and being sanctified, wearing the white robe and gown. Listen, your pastor with the white robe and gown on is not holy. Your imam with the white robe and gown is not holy. Your silly mother and grandmom in that church with them crazy looking feather hats are not holy. When you look the word holy up, the word holy means to be separate, set apart. Even when you look at your Bible, it's called what? The Holy Bible. Meaning this Bible ain't for everybody. Right. It's not. The Lord said, and you shall be holy unto me. Meaning we should be separate, set apart. Read.
For I, the Lord, am holy.
For I, the Lord, am holy. Meaning the Most High is holy. The Lord is separate. He ain't the God of everybody. Let me tell you something. That's another thing too. The Christians, kill me with this, or Muslims or whatever. If you are of that belief and ilk, to believe that God loves everybody. I can tell you have never picked up your Bible and read it. Because when I picked up the Bible in the UPK and read it, I said, God damn, where is that at? We watched the Lord destroy our enemies, man, for the children of Israel. The Lord don't love everybody and never has. That's what I ask y'all Christians, right? The Lord loved everybody. Why did them Sodomites and Sodom and Gomorrah have to be unalived?
Right.
Why did the Lord flood the earth if he loved everybody? These are questions that you have to ask Christians. God loved everybody. Why did he do that? Ooh-wee. Because he don't love everybody. The Lord's love is only for the children of Israel. That's what the Lord said. It ain't what I said. It ain't what Ibad said. Mahayaman ain't said. Mariah ain't said. That's what the Lord said. It said, for I, the Lord, am holy. Meaning he's separate. He's set apart. I'll give you the best breakdown I heard of it, man. Most High is a father. Most High is a father. Your father don't love everybody. Let me ask you a question. Can my son break the rules of Mr. Pewtersmith's house across the street? First of all, my son shouldn't even be in Mr. Pewtersmith's house. He ain't got no business being there. But can he break his rules and regulations? He don't live there. Our God gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. He ain't everybody's father.
Right.
Like my brother Zarwai says, Zarwai used to go out there to camp by God. You remember, he'd be like, listen, the Lord is our father. He's not your father. I'm not your father. He's not. He's only the father of blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. He's our father. Right. Christ even said it, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Christ ain't say everybody's father. He said our father. Christ was a what? Jew. Christ was a Jew. So when he says our father, he's talking about our father, the father of the nation of Israel. First of all, the Lord's name is Yahweh. You know what I mean? Our name is Yasha Allah, which means princess of the power. And if you a sister, princess of the power. Keep going.
Oh God. And have severed you from other people.
And have what?
Severed you from other people.
And have severed you from other people. Ooh, and have severed you from other people. Meaning this. The Lord severed us from everybody. So we should be, what? Read.
That ye should be mine.
That ye should be mine. That ye should be mine. Because we belong to the Most High. We don't belong to everybody. We don't. And in knowing that we belong to the Most High, guess what, everybody? You know what we should do? You know what we should do? Because the Lord said that we should be separate, that he has severed us from other people. We should separate from the Japanese and Chinese. We should separate from the East Indians. We should separate from the Arabs. We should separate from these heathens, Lord Christ. That's what we should do. Ain't that what they do, Ibad? Like there's a Bollywood in every major city. There's a Chinatown. Me and Barzal can't go, get a job in Chinatown. We can't. We can't. That's for Moab. And that's one thing I respect about Moab. Moab is only for Moab. Elam is only for Elam. We got to be for Israel. That's how we have to be. You can't be Ibad, man. You can't go get over there and get a job in Dim Sum Garden. We can't do that. The hell we look like? Talking about you go in Dim Sum Garden and you see me and Ibad and Mahayaman and Barzal at the damn counter talking about Nihama. Sheshemi. You are not going to catch that. You know how out of place we would look? That's how out of place they look in our neighborhoods. Right. There shouldn't be Chinese stores in every black and Latino neighborhood. It shouldn't be. Why is it that they can come in our neighborhoods and establish shop and businesses, but we can't do so in theirs? I thought God loved everybody. That's nothing to ask Christians. Why is it that they can set up shop in our neighborhoods, but we can't set up shop in theirs? because they understand the real use and meaning of community and being separate. We don't understand that. And this is what our God told us, that we should be holy unto him. For I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. Meaning we belong to the Most High. We shouldn't even be one to be joined with them. That's another thing I want to ask you, foundational Black Americans. Did you celebrate Christmas? Well, some of y'all, now we know that they did. We know. The next time you go ask foundational Black American Mike. Ask Mike. Hey Mike, did you foundational Black American? That's right, brother. Black pride. Keep hope alive. You celebrate Christmas? Well, you know you die. It's for the kids. You celebrate New Year's? I like to drink on the 31st. And argue and beat my woman and beat my kid. That's what they do. They do that, everybody. They do that. But you celebrate Thanksgiving. Oh, it's about family. Hypocrites. Our God wants us to be separate, set apart, because he says so. And that's another thing that we got to understand too, is that the Bible is what's right for Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And everything else is wrong. Can I get Micah chapter 2 and verse 10? That's what we have to realize. We're worried about the wrong thing. You worried about Ephraim. You worried about Benjamin. Not realizing that we are in the same condition. The fact that you got Negroes out here, one of the displaced Puerto Ricans and West Indians, and we come from the same struggle and trauma, you know what I mean? It's just asinine to me. You know what I mean? Like Barzal, you know, grew up around Ephraim. They ain't niggas like us. They damn sure is, Lord Christ, I tell you. They damn sure is. A lot of y'all, man, when you watch Beach Street, every nigga I know cried when Ramon died, Barzal. It was like a member of the family dying. And you want to diss our brothers, man, and kiss the ass of your oppressor. Shame on you, man. Shame on you. Things are not going to change until the tribes get back together. And that's what we're doing here in the ISUPK. And it ain't nothing that you can do to stop it. Nothing. That's why we have to do this. Read what you got.
Okay. This is the book of Micah, 2, verse 7. Arise ye and depart.
The Lord said, arise ye and depart. Meaning we have to arise and depart. Meaning we got to get the hell up out of here. And how do we get up out of here? I don't got to get on a boat and go to Egypt, go to Zimbabwe. No. Let me tell you how we do that. You arise, you and depart by taking your mind out of this place. Read it again from the top. And
arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
For this is not your what?
For this is not your rest.
This ain't our rest, man. How the hell are we going to get rest? They just unalived some poor brother in that prison cell, man. Like 8 or 9 of them devils did that. You see what happened to Sandra Bland. You see what happened to Vanessa Gillian. You see what happened to George Floyd. This happens to Blacks and Latinos and Native American Indians all over. All over. We're in a place, you know what I mean, or our Hispanic brothers try to come over to a land that's already belonged to them, Barzo. You aren't met the same way the Ukrainians was met. The Ukrainians was able to march in 500,000 by the person. No questions, no problems. But if you're Mexican, Guatemalan, if you Haitian or West Indian, you getting chased out, locked in cages, and beat off court with whips off horseback. That's what happens to the children of Israel. Our God said, arise ye and depart. Right. For this is not our listen. How can we find rest in a place like this, Ibai? We're not. Right. We're not going to find rest. Alawat Panya. Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Appreciate you, guys. Water Warrior. Let's get it on tonight. I'm going to answer all of your questions, solve all of your problems. Tonight we'll go over January 6th. We'll explain what January 6th is historically. I'll try to break that down for you tonight also. I'll solve all of your problems and answer all of your questions. Also, Commanding General Yohana's show that usually comes on after this show. Commander General Yohana will play a rerun tonight. So I'm making sure you're aware of that. Now I will answer all of your questions. If you have any questions in the room or online, let's have them now.
This is from Kyle Lazal Bun Yahweh. Can I get a breakdown on Genesis chapter 46 to verse 4? Salaki, sir, is the hand upon thine eyes part talking about Joseph being able to bury his father when he passed?
Is the hand upon his eyes part talking about Joseph being able to bury his father? All right, let's see. What? Whenever you're ready, we'll take it, all right?
Genesis chapter 46 and verse 4. This is the book of Genesis chapter 46 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
I will go down with thee into Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
and I will also surely bring thee up again.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph shall put his hand upon thine eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob rose up from Beersheba.
All right, I'll break that down for you if I could. Joseph putting his hand upon thy eyes is talking about, this is he's speaking to Moses. Who?
Jacob.
Which Joe? This is the Joseph. This is Jacob he's speaking to, right? Meaning putting his hand upon his eyes is what you would do when you would close someone's eyes when they die. So it's saying that he's going to close your eyes when you die. To be more specific, he's going to be there to comfort you when you die. Like imagine that person that's there when your grandfather passes away and you're the one at the bed that closes their eyes if they die with their eyes open. So it's more about how close Joseph will be with Jacob, close with him until the end. That's the point. All right. That person that closes your eyes, they're with you until the end, which is the point of saying Joseph will be with you and he'll close your eyes. Everyone understands, right? I appreciate it. Someone's phone, I can. All right. Anything else?
Oh, God, from Sabah, Karak, to Shalaki General, can I get a breakdown of 2nd Ezra 5 and 3 through 5?
No problem, warrior. Let's get it. Also, someone hold, let an evil man rule over him and let Satan sit at his right hand. That's what happened today in America, man. Today, America received the president it deserves. That's who's ruling America right now. That's who, to be more exact, that is the kind of man that America wanted. And that is the kind of man that America deserves. America deserves Donald Trump. America wants Donald Trump because Donald Trump best embodies the idea of white supremacy and cruelty to the poor. And I'll explain that in a few seconds when we go into January 6th, all right? Go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, and verse 3. And the land that thou seest now to have root shall thou see wasted suddenly. Verse 4. And if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet, that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night.
Give me some context of what we're speaking about right here. Where are we at?
2nd Ezra, chapter 5, verse 3.
Read 1.
Oh God. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number.
That's speaking about death. That's speaking about Judgment Day. Go ahead.
And the way of truth shall be hidden.
You understand what that's speaking about? Meaning, so many people will die, so many people will be gone, and the way of truth will be hidden. We're living in that time right now. And there's a great time of death that's also coming. Why? Because the way of truth is hidden, right? The path to the truth. You know what? When you're in the truth in America, they say that you're in a cult. They say you're crazy. They say you're a hate group. And when you're in a lie in America, and when you are an open white supremacist who hates Mexicans and hates black people, they call you the president of the United States. That's why death is coming. Because people enjoy lies and they hate the truth. Continue.
And the land shall be barren of faith.
And the land shall be what?
Be barren of faith.
That's why Donald Trump won this election. He won this election because this world is barren of faith. Barren of it. There is none. Can I prove it to you? Give me what happened this week in Kaleen, Texas. I'm not sure if it was even Texas. When these people tried to put up a cold center for poor people. As you know, it's a cold front is destroying America right now. I think up there, places like Delaware, places even further south, they're getting 8 inches of snow. Places that never receive snow. So because of that, some people wanted to put up what's called a warming center. A warming center. Because they know that a record number of Americans live outside in tents. Most of you have seen these people by now. They're everywhere. They're in every major city. They're in the rural people. So the government wanted to put up these places called warming centers that you can go into if the cold reaches below, I think, 15 degrees, right? Let me Yadai will put the story up. I believe this will crystallize the point that the Most High God is making here. Please read it one more time.
Okay. Verse 1, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Ezra, the 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the token, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And the way of truth shall be hidden.
Keep going.
And the land shall be barren of faith.
Keep going.
Verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased.
Iniquity shall be what?
Increased.
Increase. There is no way that you could win a presidential election in America without being overtly evil to black people. That's the key to success. That's the key to success. You would have to be overtly evil to Hispanics. The Democrats hate black people too. The Democrats hate Mexicans. The problem is they don't wear their hatred out in front of them. You can't tell how much they hate Mexicans. They don't overtly hate black people in the Democratic Party. And that's why they cannot win an election. You're going to have to overtly hate blacks and Hispanics to have success in America. And it's for this reason. Read that again.
But iniquity shall be increased.
But iniquity shall be increased. Wickedness will be increased. Every evil thing you can imagine, before you know it, to assault a child will become just another sexual preference. Just like Commander General Yohanna said years ago. The things that you would consider absolutely vile will be considered commonplace, and the cruelty to the poor will be considered righteousness. Let me prove it to you. Do you have it yet? Please put it up on the screen.
The warming center in a Kaysville community is doing all they can to fight plans for a code blue warming center in their city.
I want you to pause it when you see the front.
Commission meeting today. Specialist Mike Anderson was there, and he joins us live to explain why Davis County leaders are saying it's already a done deal. Mike?
Yeah, Dina, so county commissioners are pointing some of the blame at the state law, which calls for the committees that create these warming centers to do so in private meetings. And now this building will become one of 3 warming centers in Davis County. And a lot of people are saying it's wrong that they were kept out of the loop.
We don't want answers. We don't want the shelter.
Tensions rise as Davis County commissioners move to.
What does that say on the front of that table right there? Can anyone read it? In God we trust. In God we trust. And there are about 100 people in this room complaining because they dared to set up a warming center that would warm homeless people who live outside in less than 15-degree weather. And it caused an uproar in the town. And all the while they're angry about poor people, homeless people getting warm, and God we trust is in the front of them. That's America. That's our oppressor. Before you know it, being cruel to homeless people will be God's will. It will be what God wants. It will be considered righteous to make sure that homeless people, homeless children freeze to death. Keep playing.
To close the public comment portion of their meeting this morning.
You were elected by all of these people in the room and you're not listening to us.
Some people objecting to a positive email being read into the meeting.
One that you choose to listen to rather than 100 people in front of you.
All of them opposed to making this former emissions testing center at 600 West and Old Mill Lane a code blue warming center as required by state law when temperatures are forecast below 18 degrees.
The people that are coming to these homeless shelters do not want help. They're drug addicts. They do horrific things. I have small children. This is not why we elected you.
Commissioners say they have no other option now that another proposed location was shut down in Fruit Heights.
This is not why we elected you. We elected you to freeze poor people to death. That's why we elected you. They only go into this place when it gets below 18 degrees. Do you understand? When it's 20 degrees, you freeze to death. This place is closed. 22 degrees, this place is closed. It has to go below 18. You know what that means also, right? At 18 degrees, this place is closed. It's closed. We didn't elect you for this. You get elected for freezing people to death. You don't get elected to keep them from dying. They would rather pay people to scoop your dead corpse off the ground than pay to have you keep warm in some warehouse. They'd rather pay people to chisel you off the goddamn sidewalk. That's why Donald Trump won this election. That's why the churches believe that God is with them and in them because they perform cruelty and then attribute it to God. In God we trust. Continue.
A local church had volunteered to provide that space, but later buckled under pressure from that community.
It's been frustrating. It's been frustrating.
A local church, before they moved them into this former emissions testing place, a warehouse, a church said, listen, we'll keep them warm at less than 18 degrees. The public protested so much, the church had to say, we will not keep them warm. A church. We will not do it. Why? Because the people don't want it. And that is the key to Christianity, which I know so many of you out there don't quite get. Okay, you look at people like Donald Trump and Creflo Dollar and T.D. Jakes, and your evil is so focused, your hatred or your contempt is so focused on the leaders of Blacks and Hispanics, the leaders of our enemies. You don't quite understand why they're the leader. They're the leader because the people are evil. The average person that walks into that church every day is a wicked monster. The average person that stands in a line to vote is a contemptible monster. That is the only way that wicked men could stay in power. Let me tell you how bad it is. A lot of people are not wicked, but they know they have to be wicked to succeed. They know they have to. These preachers know they have to accept homosexuality. Because if they don't, they won't be able to own a church. There are so many preachers out there who would be against the LGBT community. They would be against abortion. They would be against the sexual lifestyle that people love in America. But these preachers know that if they come against these things, they will lose their congregations. So then who really is the evil one then? The people. The people that go to church, they're wicked. Your grandmother is evil. Your mother, your father, your cousins, your daughter, your son, your wife. They go into that church. The preacher is simply giving them what they want. They're not, in your mind, it's like the preacher is the one fooling them. I wish it was the case. I wish it was the case. They're the wicked leader of a wicked congregation. They're the blind leading the blind. They're chosen by an evil people to be their representative. That's why Donald Trump is president of the United States. I believe that's that on that. You can play a little more if you want to get it in your mind. It's up to you. All right.
And for you, it's been frustrating for us.
Kaysville Mayor Tamara Tran points out that even the city is helpless as they cannot stop county leaders from using a building owned by the county. She'd like them to instead offer hotel vouchers for now.
I would hope that we could postpone that until next year and have a comprehensive plan that we can present to people.
Many other homeowners simply asking to be brought into the conversation.
But I feel like anything you're trying to do, you get better solutions the more people you include, and making it public from the beginning.
Stop. Let me tell you, listen, that mayor, she wants to open up this place to warm these people. She wants to do it. She can't. You understand? Because she knows as a mayor, it makes more sense to bring them inside to let them get warm. Otherwise, we're going to have to send people outside to scoop the dead bodies off the sidewalk. It's just logic to say, let's warm them. Or else they gotta fill up the emergency rooms when they come in with hypothermia. Now the emergency room is filled with people because they're dying or dead. But even she is not going to be allowed to help poor people because the average everyday American citizen is cruel. You die.
If I may, sir, it's something that the mayor said that was heavy to me, and I just wish that we did this in a righteous way.
Mm-hmm.
She said that their community is so strong that they're pushing up back against this. All I can think about is what if we as Blacks and Latinos pushed against the drugs on the corner, pushed against the abortion clinics, pushed against every evil thing that they push in our neighborhoods. They wouldn't be able to do it if we had half the resolve that they had on killing their own people. Wow.
Give him a hand. I mean, that's kind of the solution, is it not? But here's what makes your job so difficult. For Blacks and Hispanics to push back against the evil that our oppressor does to us, Blacks and Hispanics would have to not love evil. That's the problem. Blacks and Hispanics love evil. Blacks and Hispanics push back when you try to fight evil. Do you understand? That's what they're going to push. You're going to go out in the street corners and on the internet, and you're going to push back against evil. And Blacks and Hispanics are going to get your page shut down. They're going to complain. They're going to call the police to get them to come shut down your speakings. They're going to push back at the people that push against evil. And so that's what makes our job so difficult, and it makes the men and the women that join the truth so rare. So absolutely unique. Eres única. Eres única. Keep going.
This is the book of Second Ezra 5, verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased.
You get that. Iniquity shall be increased. Keep going.
Above that which now thou seest.
Please, above what you're looking at now. You think it's bad now. Forget about it. Wait until you see 2025. Wait until you see 2026. Go ahead.
Or that thou hast heard long ago.
Or evil that you've heard of a long time ago. Did I pass the brother or the sister's question? Go ahead.
Verse 3. And the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted suddenly.
The land that you see that is rooted right now, you're going to see it be destroyed. You're going to see it wiped out and be destroyed. It's rooted now. It's strong now, but it's going to be destroyed. Continue.
Verse 4. But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night.
Let me tell you, the land of Israel is going to be destroyed. This is a prophecy telling him that the land that you see rooted now, which is the land of Israel, which is his homeland, the homeland of the prophet of God, that land is going to be destroyed. By the time of the third trumpet, when the third trump blares out, you're going to see the sun come out again, and this land will be reborn. Israel is coming back. The people that have been lost and slaughtered, destroyed, and wasted are going to be reborn again. And that's what he's telling this prophet to encourage him, because he's told him how terrible things will be. But once we get through this terrible time, then victory will be ours. That's the point. All right? Anything else? Please, próximo preguntas. Preguntas.
Sir, this is from young man Jermaine. Shalom, Yahweh Shabbat Shabbat Katav. Salaki, sir, can you break down Isaiah 3 and 1 to watch?
Okay, go ahead.
Sir. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away Jerusalem, and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread, and the whole stay of water.
What was this question again, Salaki?
General breakdown of Isaiah 3 and 1.
Oh, Isaiah 3 and 1. Read it again.
For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take them away from Jerusalem and from Judah, the stay and the staff.
The stay and the staff is talking about a big stick, right? A big stick that protects you, right? The meaning you're going to lose your protection. You're not going to have your protection anymore. The Most High is going to take away our protection because of our refusal to worship him and him alone, because we decided to worship the gods of the other nations. Read after stay and staff.
The whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water.
What is a stay? A stay is that thing that you depend on, that thing that you rely on. That's your stay. The stay of bread and the stay of water. You're going to lose your protection, and you're going to lose your ability to feed yourself. You're going to lose your ability to give your people water. That's going to happen, and that absolutely did happen to us. And right now, here we are in the land of our oppressor, paying for water, paying for food. Many of us go starving to death, having to go to our oppressor, or else your children will be malnourished. Continue. Okay, that's his breakdown. Anything else?
This is from Kanak. Shalom, my Lord, if it pleases you, can I get a general breakdown of Matthew chapter 20 and verse 20 to 24? Water, my Lord.
No problem. It'll be an honor, please. Let me answer the brother's question, all right? Where was it?
Matthew chapter 20 and verse 20 to 24.
This is book Matthew 20, verse 20. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her son, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. Verse 21. And he said unto her, What will thou? She saith unto him, Grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on thy right hand and the other on the left.
This is in the New Testament with James and John. Is that what we're reading right now? Right. He wants us to break down. This is in essence the origin story of James and John. James and John were two of the 12 disciples. This scripture tells you how they came into the truth. As you know, Jesus Christ would travel around and he would teach. He would meet different brothers along the way when he was in the very beginning of his service for the Lord his God. He met Peter and his brother while they were fishing on a commercial fishing vessel. They left their father on that vessel and they followed Jesus Christ. He met another brother. He met, I believe, Andrew. I want to say Andrew. Who's the one in whom there is no guile? I want to say that's Andrew, but I can't recall. One of the other disciples brought him to Jesus Christ. Many of the disciples were cousins or brothers. They were related to each other, right? Like Andrew and Peter and James and John, right? This is how James and John found Nathaniel, right? This is how James and John found the truth. He's out teaching. All of a sudden, this woman comes up with these two young men, these two kids. Start from there. Start from what I just described.
She saith unto him, Grant that these my two sons may sit.
She believed that Jesus Christ could change her sons. She believed that he was exactly what they needed to make a positive effect on their lives. You brothers, you might be in that position one day out there in that world. You brothers watching right now. Well, you know that the Israelite School of UPK is exactly what your children need. It's exactly what your daughter needs. It's exactly what your sons need. And this woman was in that situation. And she said, Lord, take these, my sons. Put one on your right hand and put one on your left, meaning take direct control over them and let them rule under you. Meaning she wanted one of them to be the first under Jesus Christ and the other one to be the second under Jesus Christ. That's how close she wanted them to be with him. Continue.
The one on the right hand and the other on the left hand.
The one on the right is the first, the one on the left is the second. Continue.
In thy kingdom.
In thy kingdom. Keep going.
Verse 22. But Jesus answered and said, ye know not what ye ask.
Read that again.
Ye know not what ye ask.
She knows that Jesus Christ is the perfect example that her sons need in their lives. So she brings them to him and says, let them be with you in the kingdom. You're number one and you're number two. And Jesus Christ, his response was, woman, you do not understand what you're asking for. You don't get it. You don't get what it means to be my number one and my number two. As you know, James was unalived by Nero Caesar. And John sat for the rest of his life on an island scribbling rants and dreams that we now call the book of Revelations. She didn't know what she was asking for that day. To be his right hand and be his left requires suffering, young man. Suffering. Suffering is how you get to be with him. This is something your preachers don't know anything about because they don't suffer because they don't serve Jesus Christ. To be a preacher, you need to know how to party good. That's what makes you the best preacher in the world. The best singer will be the best preacher. The best piano player will be the best preacher. The best dancer will be the best preacher. The best dresser will be the best preacher. The person that can party the hardest will be the best preacher. To be the best disciple of Christ, you have to suffer to do that. There was an old term for it. It was called passion. To have passion for a thing. That's the direct translation of passion. Passion is not sexual, which is, of course, what you think it is now because of poems in the 1700s. But passion means to suffer. That's what the term passion means. And if you want to serve Christ, if you want to be in this work, it requires passion, young man. I pray you understand. Keep going.
Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of?
And he's making it very clear. Are you able to drink from the cup that I drink of? You want to be with me? Or can you take what I am going to take? And you do what I must do. Continue. Sorry, 1 second. In the back. Microphone.
The cup, is that the same cup he was referring to when he was praying and asking Musa this cup?
That's exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about being unalived, which is what happened to them. Going to prison for the rest of your life. That's what happened. That's what they signed up for. You understand? That's what they signed up for. James and John got exactly what they requested. And Barakatah Yahweh Shai for them. They got exactly what they signed up for. Now, as you name your child, as Commanding General Yohana is getting named after John, which is what Yohana means. As you're getting named James, what's James in the Hebrew? Yahweh. As you're getting that name, just remember the brothers that made that name famous. They carried that name on past the New Testament. Two men that suffered for that reputation, brother. Continue.
And to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with.
Yeah, oh boy. Yeah, they got it. They got baptized with the baptism that he was baptized with. What changed him? His baptism was suffering. That was his baptism. That's how he learned. Continue.
They say unto him, we are able. Verse 23.
Read that again.
They say unto him, we are able.
Read that again.
They say unto him, we are able.
I know you understand that. They got exactly what they signed up for. Continue.
Verse 23. He saith unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup.
You're going to. Count out of one cup. Can you do it? Count out of one cup. You're going to get just what you asked for. You are going to drink of my cup. You're going to get it. Go ahead.
And be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized.
You are going to be baptized with the baptism that I take. You're absolutely going to get it. Keep going.
But.
Read that again.
But.
Pero. Read that again.
But.
Go ahead.
To sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give.
But I can't decide who sits on my right and who sits on my left. That's up to the Most High. The power that you want comes from God. But the suffering, if you want it, you can come get some with me. That's the point. Everybody understands. All right. Anything else? See me one more time, please. Again, otra vez.
Sir. This is from Kazab Yahudah, how Kazab Yahudah is slow. And I have a breakdown of Isaiah 7 and 15. What is butter and honey?
No problem. Go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 7, verse 15.
Oh, let me shout out to Captain Desariak. Give Captain Desariak a hand, man. He just sent me a text saying that WAC 100 went on Vlad and had some battle on Vlad just now and had to battle some Amalekite who was called the so-called Jew in the Bible and kept telling the Amalekite that he was not a Jew, that the Jews are black because Captain Desariak said that on Vlad TV. Throughout it. Outstanding work. Well done. He said it should be out soon, very soon, all right, the video. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, 7 verse 15. Butter and honey shall he eat, that he may know to refuse the evil and choose the good.
Let me go. This is a prophecy about Jesus Christ. Is this Isaiah 53?
Isaiah 7.
Isaiah 7. This is a future prophecy about the Messiah, which are future prophecies about Jesus Christ written of in the New Testament. It's describing him and the life that he will live. Read it two verses above it, please.
This is the book of Isaiah, 7 verse 13. And he said, hear ye now, O house of David.
O house of who?
O house of David.
Hear ye now, O house of David. As you know, Jesus Christ comes from the house of David. He is from the root and lineage of his forefather David. Hear ye now, O house of David. Keep going.
Is it a small thing for you to weary men?
Is it a small thing for you to weary men? How did the house of David weary men? When the house of David finally got in charge, after the time of King Solomon, they began to be very cruel to the people that they were set to serve. They began to be cruel to the congregation of Israelites that they ruled over. And they begin to be terrible leaders, terrible kings. All right. And so he's saying, is it a light thing for you to what?
Is it a small thing for you to weary men?
Is it a small thing for you to weary men? You're wearing out the nation of Israel with all of your cruel taxes and burdens that you put upon the Israelites. Continue.
But will ye weary my God also?
Are you going to weary God the same way that you weary the people? Are you going to attempt to overthrow and oppress God the same way that you wear all of the people out with your cruel punishments and your cruel taxes? Continue.
Verse 14. Therefore, the Lord himself shall give you a sign.
No problem. The Most High said, fine. Since now you want to weary me, you want to vex me the way you vex the nation of Israel, now the Lord is going to give the house of David, the family of David, a sign. A sign. Continue.
Behold, a virgin shall conceive.
Behold, a what?
A virgin shall conceive.
Behold, a virgin shall conceive. That's a sign. Why is that a sign? Now you got to just think about what we're talking about. 1 second, I got to answer this text. Bear with me. Salaki. Read that again.
Behold, a virgin shall conceive.
This is the sign that the house of David was going to receive. Someone was going to have a child who was unmarried. That's what that means. An unmarried woman was going to have a child, which was a great shame to that house. It's not a shame to your family because you're the descendants of slaves. So it's nothing to you. But if you were the family of a king or the family of the rich aristocrats, having someone get pregnant who is not married is a terrible thing. Imagine, the British aristocrats having a baby out of wedlock. That's what happened in the case of Jesus Christ. If you're a rich and upstanding or a family that is royalty, you cannot have a baby out of wedlock. When it's saying a virgin shall conceive, meaning this young unmarried woman will conceive, which is going to humble you because you would think that no one from your family would ever do anything like that. Continue.
And bear a son.
And bear a son. Keep going.
And shall call his name Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, which means God is with us. They'll call his name Emmanuel. I broke that down before already. When Jesus Christ came, everyone knew that God is with us. The same way you knew that the fireman that rescues you from a burning building means that God is with us. They knew that also about Jesus Christ. So this child, who would be considered nothing because he's a child born out of wedlock, everyone will consider him to be the one that God sent. That's how God planned on humbling this proud house. And the house of David had become extremely proud, extremely, terribly proud. So now what did God do to teach them a lesson? I'm going to make some girl get knocked up without having the marriage ceremony, without the dowry, without the big giant ceremony fit to a king. She's going to get knocked up, and that child will be the one that everyone knows is great, not you. That was the way of humbling the house of David. Continue.
Verse 15. Butter and honey shall he eat.
Now here's to her question. Butter and honey shall he eat. What makes Jesus Christ in this prophecy different than the rest of the house of David, who wearies the people and wearies God? Who knows? The way he was brought up. Jesus Christ was brought up well. That's what it means. Honey and butter shall he eat. Meaning instead of eating the bile that you eat, the poison that you had to ingest every day that turns you into the person you are. How do you think you got the way you are? You got the way you are because of what you ingested as a child, what you ate, what you had to swallow every day. You hear these terms? These are terms used to this day. Man, what I had to swallow coming up. Man, yeah, that happened to me. Guess what I had to do? I had to eat it. I had to eat it, man. I had to suck it up. These are terms we still use to this day to mean just to take some terrible thing that you can't change. And that's your childhood. Just taking it. Just suffering. That wasn't so with Jesus Christ, brother. Jesus Christ was raised well. Wait until you see what that can do to change a child in the future. To raise him right. To feed him what? To feed him the poison of slavery. That's why you beat your children with extension cords, right? Because the slave master beat your great-great-great-grandfather with extension cords. Here you are in 2025 beating with extension cords. You're feeding your child oppression and degradation. You feed it to him. Your child grows up to be a psychopath. You argue and curse around your child, and you get drunk around them, and you do drugs and you smoke around your child. Well, then what happens to your child when your child gets older? When your child is young, you can't say